Hi, my name is Melissa Smith. I am the PVA. I am a virtual assistant matchmaker and VA trainer and coach, and I match clients with the right virtual assistant based on communication strategy and ideal client fit. And I work with VAs to help them be successful in business and become the top tier and make the most money that they can. A virtual assistant, in short, is someone who assists you from wherever they are, not where you are. And the term is pretty broad, so you can have virtual assistants in a wide variety of fields and industries, a skill set. But what you're looking for in any assistant, whether human or AI, is someone who has the ability to anticipate your needs. If they're not anticipating your needs, you're not going to get the benefit of truly working with an assistant. An assistant has a heart to serve, but they should also be able to anticipate your needs. It's really up to the person. So I myself was a digital nomad. I identified more as location independent because I'm not tech savvy at all. So I felt like fraudulent calling myself a digital nomad. But there are many VAs who are digital nomads, and there are many clients who are digital nomads. So when I was working as a VA, being location independent, I had my own VAs, but yet I was working with clients, matching them with VAs, and some of them are. I would say for a lot of people, the goal and the dream is travel at some point. Maybe they don't want to be fully committed to it for whatever reason. I don't believe there's a right or wrong, but the goal is to have that freedom and flexibility that they can choose and decide. And that's the number one reason someone becomes a VA, is for freedom and flexibility. It's also really tied into why someone hires a VA, so they can enjoy more freedom and flexibility, and then they really get to have the choice. So for some, it is absolutely to have the ability to work and travel anywhere in the world whenever they want. It might be to have money just to travel more often, or take longer periods of time off and have longer periods of vacation. Particularly in the States, the dream is to go to other countries where the idea of taking a season off of work is not foreign, literally, to them, where in the States, it's very foreign to us. And so having that ease to be able to flow in and out of your day is often something, a reason why Americans, and particularly United States, particularly Americans, like to go to other countries to feel that sense of ease and flow that seems to be unattainable in our own country. Well, the advantages is just like the economy right now for the employment workforce, right? You have a greater talent pool to choose from, so you're not limited by a geographic area. So immediately when you open that up, you're opening yourself up to lots of possibilities, and you're opening yourself up to a lot of diversity, right? Everyone wants that diverse point of view. We want to be more inclusive, not exclusive. And one way that you do that is by opening up where your talent is coming from and getting another person's opinion and perspective. If you want to get into another market that you are not familiar with, if I wanted to get into the South American market, I would need someone who's familiar with that market and understanding, and who better than my assistant to help me shape what I know to be true versus how I know it can be received. So there's that aspect, but the aspect is much more closer to home most of the time, and that is, what is going to have the biggest impact on me right now? How impacted would I be if I just got an hour back of my time every single day? If I could just control my time more, what would that look like for me? When I ask my clients, if you had one more hour in the day, what would you do with it? The number one answer is sleep. If you had one more hour of sleep, what does that mean to you? Now, the following answers usually say, spend more time with my family, spend more time with my kids. There's also a large group that say, I would devote more time to build my business. And so when you think about how you would spend just one more hour in the day, and then you compound that hour by what you could do in a year with 365 more hours, that's a major reason to hire a virtual assistant. Absolutely, 100%. Now, the caveat I would say is, do not be bound to what you see online. Just this morning, I read an article from a very prestigious magazine that people trust, and they listed the hourly rate of a virtual assistant between $10 and $20 per hour, yet they didn't list what country that was for. And if you're in the United States, you might think, well, why would I do that? That seems like a waste of my time. I could make more money working at Domino's or Target, like this is just ridiculous. That is absolutely not accurate. The Association of Virtual Assistants has the industry standard pricing for what a VA should be charging in the United States. So that's also good for Canada. So don't be bound by what other people are telling you. They often do not have the experience to know what you could be making in an hour. Particularly, I coach VAs when you're working as a side hustle and you already have a full-time job, hourly rate might not be your best friend, because that means if you're trying to make enough income where you can replace your full-time job and you're already working 40 hours, you might then have to work 80 hours a week, or maybe like you're gonna get to 70 hours before you say, okay, I can stop this and then I'll concentrate on this full-time. How is that sustainable? You're never gonna be able to make it. That's too much to ask of anyone. However, if you charge a flat rate and a package price and have a value-based service, now it doesn't matter if something takes you 5 minutes or 5 hours, you still get paid the same, and you are doing yourself a better service by having that on the side, something that you enjoy, not another job that you've created yourself to have to go to after already working a long day. Well, like I said, the number one skill is being able to anticipate the needs of your client. If your client constantly has to tell you what to do, if your client is the one that's constantly saying, here's what's next, they're never gonna see you as a true assistant that is partnering with them to assist them to become better. You will eventually become more of a task taker. And worse, if they see you as an employee that they just kind of will order around and bark orders at. No one wants that. And that is often a very large misconception about what it is to be an assistant. But those clients who've had a true assistant before and are looking for those types of individuals truly do see an assistant as their partner. And in order to do that, you have to understand the pain points that your client is going to be facing. You're going to have to be able to anticipate how you can alleviate those and what you can do to make their life easier. And so when you do that and become an assistant, whether that is SEO, website building, social media, executive virtual assistants, podcast management, YouTube setup, whatever that is, you want to let the client know, I have taken care of this for you. I have anticipated what your needs are going to be, and I got it all covered. And when you're able to deliver that kind of peace of mind, certainly your rates will be able to demonstrate that. People will love to pay it, and your clients will value not just the skill that they might be able to find a dozen people to do. They're going to value the manner in which you do it, and that's the difference between high quality VAs and VAs that are just task takers. I don't face many challenges these days. I've been working at this for a long time. I have a 98% successful match rate. And so as long as you keep on the two pillars, so the two pillars that you are gonna match yourself with a client are on communication strategy and ideal client fit. So communication strategy is for the client. It's in their manner, their medium, their tone, their verbiage. It has to be super simple for them or they won't do it. So if you have a system where you want every client to use Asana or Trello or Basecamp, and that is not the client's preference, you're gonna have problems. You're going to run into issues. If you're going to set up a system like that, then your clients need to already be using those systems. Don't try to help them create a new habit. That's a new project of its own. You wanna meet them where they are. The ideal client fit side is really where VAs struggle. Because when you want to make money and you're trying to get these clients and you're like, oh, I don't really want it, but I do want the money, listen to your gut. If this is not the ideal person that you want to work with, no matter how much money you're making, it will turn out to be a nightmare. And if you're not sure who you want to work with and you think, well, I'm kind of open right now, I don't know who my ideal client is, then just be sure you know who you don't want to work with. If you don't want to work with anyone in any industry who's a micromanager, then be upfront when you're speaking to a client and say, I work best with those who trust their people and hand off assignments and just allow me to do my job, check in with you at certain intervals. But those are the people that I work best with. If I have to, check in every day, constantly get your permission for something that I, is supposed to be my job to do, then that's not going to be a good working relationship with us. And, be able to answer those questions and tell the client who you work best with. Even if you don't know who your ideal is, you do know who you don't want to work with. Oh, right now, I would say it's probably a tie between online courses and podcasting. Those two fields are just on fire right now. I do not see them slowing down. Podcasting is the new blogging, yet at the same time, it does not allow you to get away from the written word. So just because you're podcasting or a client's podcasting doesn't mean they don't need show notes, transcripts. Everyone wants to repurpose content, so that content still needs repurposed. Just within podcasting alone, you could have an all-inclusive service. That means you're setting up the podcast for the clients, you're getting the guests for them, you're setting all the back-end stuff up, you're confirming appointments, you're creating the social media posts, you're creating the sound bites, you're editing the videos, you're creating the show notes, you're optimizing for SEO, then you're repurposing that content on a blog, and then you're marketing it in other ways. I'm sure there's other things that I left out because there's a lot more that you possibly could do, but that's all inclusive. But you could take any one of those offerings and make that a standalone service. Any one of those offerings could be a standalone service. On the flip side of that, you have online courses. And online courses aren't going anywhere because this is kind of the hybrid answer to a lot of people. Now, online courses are nothing new. They've been around for a really long time. But now online courses are going to be necessary for the hybrid workforce. So we've been seeing them for a long time when people want to go from one-to-one to one-to-many, evergreen, you name it, on demand. People can watch it on their own time. But with the hybrid workforce coming into play, it's created a whole new market where it's just a must, right? It's like going into a store, and if they wouldn't take your debit card, you would think they were crazy. Not everyone is taking Bitcoin yet, but everyone takes a debit card. And that's basically what online courses are for every industry. And so the same that you could do for podcasting is a lot of the same work that you'll do for online courses. And of course, all new information will have to be made available online as well as written. So you're not getting away from that either, because every company is going to have their audio learner and their visual learner accounted for. The future is awesome. So a lot of VAs, when they're starting to get into the field, it seems like, well, everyone is a virtual assistant, it must be saturated. That is absolutely not true. There actually aren't enough qualified VAs in the industry right now. And so that means there's huge opportunity. It's growing. When you see a lot of people entering the field and you still have not enough qualified individuals, that's actually a good thing. Don't be deterred by the number of people entering the industry, because like I said, if your service was all in podcasting, great, you're gonna need a team. People are gonna need to hire more people. The number of clients hiring more than one VA is also quite high. So don't be deterred. The average VA can only take on about 5 clients. Depending on the type of VA, it might even be less than that. So don't think, oh, like someone's cornered the market. That's absolutely not true. And don't think there's not enough clients for you if you want to enter the market, because like I said, again, the average that someone can handle is 5 clients on their own. There's enough people in the world for every VA to have 5 clients. Do not wait to perfect things. It's very common for VAs. We want to have everything together. We want to know everything. We want to make sure that we can offer our clients the best. And we think the best is perfection, and the best is not perfection. The best you can offer your clients after you learn to anticipate their needs, which comes over time, is the ability to figure things out. The best ability is, figure it out ability, responsibility, reliability. If you have those things, you have things that clients are looking for. And if you will just be honest with them and not overpromise and underdeliver, if you don't know how to do what they need, but they trust you to do it, then say, if you would trust me to do it, I promise I will figure it out. Don't promise them the world if you can't do it. Don't promise them results that you haven't proven yet, but promise them that you are reliable, that you are responsible, and that you will figure out whatever it is that they need. And with those skills, you will find so many clients who will say, I'm willing to invest in you to figure it out, because those skills matter more to me than someone who claims to already have them, yet is unreliable, won't figure things out. I can't depend on them. Like, they're just gonna do their own way. What you're offering them with those soft skills is peace of mind that can't be bought. Hire a VA before you need one. It's the number one question clients ask me about. When is the perfect time to hire a VA? It's always before you need one. By the time you need a VA, something's already fallen through the cracks. Maybe you're not sleeping enough. Maybe you're not spending enough time with your family. Maybe you're not taking enough time off. Maybe you're not devoting time to reading or some other activity that you love. Remember, when you hire a VA, your problems don't go away overnight. Every person that you bring onto your team has the need to be onboarded, and it's your responsibility to onboard someone. Don't complain if someone doesn't know your style and can't anticipate your needs if you don't spend any time onboarding them. I don't care how much of a rock star the VA is, they still need to be onboarded if they're gonna do things the right way, your way, and represent your company well. So if you do that before you need one, it takes less time to onboard them. It takes less of your time away, and then you can grow and scale at a way that makes sense without taxing you, and you feel like you're taking 10 steps backwards to go 2 steps forward. And it's called time debt. You can always make more money, but you can't ever get back the time that you lost. There's no replacing it. So hire a VA before you need one. You can hire a VA for as little as 10 hours a month, and the average person uses a VA 5 to 10 hours a week.